OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsors. Board&Dice creates games where strategy and family fun collide. Some of their latest releases are La Granja Deluxe Master Set, Books of Time, Barcelona, and Nucleum. Their ally program lends support to underrepresented voices in the hobby. Embark on a new space adventure with CATAN Starfarers Duel. Explore various planets, gather resources, fight off raids, and compete to be the first to complete the Council's missions. Your survival means exploring the galaxy, trading resources, and founding colonies, all the while keeping an eye out for pirates who threaten your riches. To get your copy of CATAN Starfarers Duel, visit CATANshop.com or check out the links in the description below. Also available at your friendly local game store. Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Fair Place Games. Voices, yeah, the point! The point! Yeah!
What is the point?
It's just the
What's
point.
the
I'm
point
just
for
pointing. I'm just pointing. Yes.
Anyway, we are back for another week
Yes.
of OFPG Voices.
Yes, excited.
And I'm always excited.
Especially because I love all of them, but I love this one because it's space themed, and I love space themed games. I love them.
Yes, this week we are talking about space themed games.
Yes.
I'm getting the past tense on both of them. Okay,
Yes.
space-themed games.
Yes.
And we've got 3 great contributors this week.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we're going to kick off the show with Maurice. He's
Yes.
going to review a game. And then after that, we've got Dr. Tanya Pobuda.
She's dropping the mic, y'all.
Yes.
She's dropping the mic.
She's got a message for us.
She got facts.
Yes, she does. She
got
has a
facts.
message.
Yes.
And last but not least, we've got Drew with a top 5.
Yes. And many that we have played and are acquainted with. Yes.
Yes.
But first, family, let's hear from Starla and her Good Human segment. Now, this is a good one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of Good Humans. You know, this week, I'm just going to touch on a quick subject. I'm not going to belabor the message this week, but I want to talk about becoming a better me or becoming a better you. Every day I strive to be a better me so that I can be a good human for myself, for my family, for my friends, and it's work. It's not easy trying to be a good human. It's not easy trying to, be compassionate all the time or being empathetic or just understanding other people. It's not an easy job, but it's so worth it. Life is so worth it. I don't want to live a life without good humans. And in today's society, we have a lot of bad actors, as they like to say. People who are misleading others, people who are saying things that they know are not true, people who are trying to stop good humans from being good humans. There's a saying out there, if you don't see a good human, be a good human, or if you don't see a good person, be that good person. And that's what I'm asking each of you today. If you don't see a good human around you, then you need to be that good human. You need to be a good human so other people can say, that's the kind of person I want to be. I want to be the person who understands the issues in the world and who understands truth and believes in truth. Being a good human means, not letting all of the falsehoods and deceptions and lies be part of your everyday. You got to shut that stuff out. You got to search for truth and know what's true and work to, promote truth and honesty and kindness and goodness in the world. And I know there's some people say, this is all kumbaya, this is all Mr. Rogers and all this stuff. But what would a world be without wonderful things like that? I mean, I grew up on Mr. Rogers, such a nice person. He just exuded goodness and happiness and kindness. And that's the kind of person I want to be around. Those are the people that I want to see in our world. We got too many bad actors, too many of them that are misleading, our country and our world, trying to take us down a path that we don't want to be on, because it's a destructive path, it's a divisive path, and it's one that is out to stop good humans. I'm working every day to become a better me, and I hope that you guys are working to become a better you. I'm working out, I'm eating better, I'm trying to be more understanding of others every day. You know, there's a thing I love to tell my family. I like to put myself in the other person's shoes. If I hear somebody, that's going through a problem or an issue, I take a moment and put myself in their shoes and wonder, how would I react if it were me? And I hope you guys will take time to say, how would I feel? How would I react? How would I be if I was in that situation? If I was living that person's life? If I was going through somebody else's experience? So all I'm asking you today is try to be a better you. And I'm telling you right now, every day I am doing my best to be a better me. And as we always say here at OFPG Voices, our goal is to make this world a better place, one board gamer at a time.
Hey everyone, this is Maurice back again on another episode of Our Family Plays Games Voices, and this time we are to talk about a space game. This one is, kind of spacey, but I love this game. It is called The Girl Who Made the Stars, and this is based off of a San African myth where there was a girl who is the one who made the constellations and the Milky Way and the stars, and we are playing a village that is trying to take advantage of this now created Milky Way and stars that's there to help guide our village to be able to prosper during this particular time. And as you can see from the box, this game is absolutely gorgeous. It just looks good on the shelf and it plays amazingly well. If you are a fan of games like Everdell or Lost Ruins of Arnak, where you have this kind of Euro worker placement, tile placement, things of that nature, where you got a little bit of different mechanics going on to be able to score you points, then this game will definitely earn a way onto your shelf. This one is mostly worker placement and tile placement, where you have workers that go out to do these particular things for you. So you're trying to gain resources to score points, or you're trying to place out one of the resources called light to be able to light a path so that you can gain more resources. And by you putting out more light, you actually get points off of that as well. So it is kind of fun because you're trying to place out light in the hopes of being able to gain some resources, but it opens up the opportunity for your opponents to be able to gain resources. So there's a little give and take there. Even though the game has minimal player interaction, it's kind of cool from that standpoint, where you're trying to strategize for yourself, but in strategizing for yourself, to an extent, you're also helping out the opponent. But it's kind of cool. I like the way that it works. It also has a dice tower in it. So the way that the game flows, whoever is first player, they'll drop in these what they call wood ash tokens, and the wood ash tokens are used, they're kind of like passive abilities that help out some of the actions that you're going to take in the game and may give you some extra points just by performing those actions. So there was one wood ash token that I had that whenever I place out a green light, I get an extra point on top of that. Or there was one where if I go gain this particular resources, I get 3 victory points just by going to go get that token. Compared to if I were to just go and grab it, I would have to use a worker to go and then pay the light, grab the resource, and then that's my turn. But if I do that now, I get 3 victory points. So they got all of these different ways to be able to score a little bit of extra on top of some of the things that you're going to do. So it's a way for you to be able to build out kind of an engine, or to just add on to what's going to be done throughout the game anyways. And then from there is after everybody pick their wood ash token and they get a light from that, then everyone simultaneously start digging into their bag to try to place out these different tiles to be able to make out these clusters and constellations so that they can either get more light or to gain points off of it. And there's an opportunity for you to make these certain shapes to be able to get what they call stardust. And you can use stardust to help you with being able to taper off some of the clusters that you can make so that you can get some extra points, or to be able to get some light so that you can keep not investigating, but moving along the game with extending out the paths so that you can reach more resources, and everybody else will be doing the same thing. So it's a way for you all to work with each other to try to get more opportunities. With this particular game, I think if I had to put a downside, even though I've been praising this game the whole time, one of the things is the game does have some swinginess to it. If you're watching this and you play the game, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But there are moves where some people will get 10, 11, 15 points in a turn, and you're looking at that, you're like, whoa, like that was a lot in one turn. But they may do that in one turn and then maybe get 5 to 6 points over the course of 2 turns, right? And then there may be an opportunity where you get 10, 11, 12 points in that one turn. So there's some swinginess to the game, but as somebody who has played this several times, I would say if you see somebody that pulls off one of these crazy moves, don't let it get to you, because you'll have that opportunity potentially to make those particular plays. Like it's not consistently where somebody's just going to rack in that amount of points all the time, even as the game goes along. But there is a bit of swinginess to the game that can probably deter some people. But if you play the game like Terra Mystica, where you see people hopping all over the place, the same thing happens here. But this game also has a solo mode where you kind of play against an automa that kind of do their own thing, but they're also helping out with building out paths in the game so that both of you can get these resources. And it's actually pretty decent, but there are a lot of rules to it, so there could be something that doesn't allow it's something that's, man, what's the best way to put it? There is something that there's just a lot of rules to keep track of. So it's a hard one for me to recommend for a solo game, but for multiplayer, I think it works extremely well, especially as people are vying for points with laying out light. So the solo mode, I say, is worth giving a shot, but you will be in and out of that rule book quite a bit trying to play it, which I think can kind of mess with the immersion of the game. But yeah, I think that this game looks amazing on the table. I think that it is super fun to play multiplayer. Solo is kind of okay, but if you're into worker placement, if you're into engine building, if you're into tile placement games where you are trying to make your own little puzzle going on to be able to maximize the amount of resources that you get, then The Girl Who Made the Stars is the game to get. Once again, my name is Maurice, and thank you for watching this segment of Our Family Plays Games Voices.
This is Dr. Tanya Pobuda, or Schooled by Gru, celebrating Pride Month in Canada, which is June 2024. Happy Pride, everyone. This is Schooled by Gru, an exclusive series for Our Family Plays Games Voices, where I do a deep dive into my PhD dissertation research and share with you the findings before the rest of the world sees it, exclusively on Our Family Plays Games. As part of my PhD dissertation, I conducted an online survey of hundreds of die-hard board gamers, the vast majority of whom had been board gaming for 11 years or more. I posed the question: what issues prevent you from participating in the board gaming hobby as much as you would like? I encouraged respondents to write in their responses, and what I got back concerned me. One respondent wrote this in: there are certainly particularly male-dominated spaces in the board game world that I do not perceive as welcoming, even if that's not the case. And that is a barrier to entry for me for certain types of games. Also, I often attend conventions on my own. I often need to play with people I don't know, and most often, these are only men. I don't find this problematic, it is just that I find it harder to approach a bunch of men to suggest a game or something. Another respondent wrote this in response to what prevents them from participating in board gaming as much as they would like. In this case, a lack of trusted people to play with, and I don't want to struggle to find a group who are not homophobic and have similar experiences to me, queer, disabled, etc. Another respondent wrote this: discrimination, race, gender, identity. The culture is dominated by white men, and when you don't fit into that category, it can be downright miserable. It's also tiring seeing the entire hobby repeatedly propped up by these types of people, white men, because it perpetuates all of the problems, such as the lack of diversity and discrimination. My gaming experience would improve if it was commonplace to game with or play games by women, persons of color, non-binary, and LGBTQ+ folks. Everything is better with more perspectives. Another person wrote this in: bigotry, whether dressed up as racism, sexism, or queerphobia, is the single biggest obstacle to them board gaming as much as they would like. Another respondent wrote this: money, and the normalization of misogynistic sentiments from other players' hostility to social justice warrior types, which feels like rejection of equality and creating a safe space for me. Hurt over companies queerbaiting and recanting on non-heterosexual relationships, and accessibility for my mobility impairments. And so, my fellow board game enthusiasts, we have work to do. There is so much work to do to make board gaming the big tent, the inclusive space I know it can be. The one thing that I can do to make board gaming a more inclusive space is to give you access to all of my research. So in this case, I've decided to publish my research to Amazon Kindle. It's entitled "I Didn't See Anyone Who Looked Like Me, Gender and Racial Representation in Board Gaming." And I'm doing this because my university library has struggled to publish my dissertation. I've waited patiently for the last year and a half. They have not posted it yet, and I want you to have access to it. And the idea here is it is available for purchase at $35 Canadian, which is roughly $25 American, and it's available for download as an ebook. There's a ton in there around play and purchase decision making, as well as representation issues more broadly in the hobby, and how we can make spaces more inclusive. So I do invite you to check that out. If only one person purchases it, that's $12 more than I would have gotten for academic publishing. So I do invite you to check it out. And I'm very, very proud of the work that I've done. And I thank our Family Plays Games and the Voices channel for giving me this opportunity to showcase my research. I am deeply grateful.
What's happening, family? It's Drew here with TableTalk, and today I am breaking down my top 5 space-themed games. I wanted to find space games that were thematic, interactive, and simple enough that you could play them with almost anyone, and that would bring out that flavor of the cosmic chaos, the cinematic spacefariness of exploring space. Maybe exploiting it, maybe traveling it, discovering new planets, exploiting those planets, taking people out there trying to invade those planets. All different types of flavors are going to be found in these space games. Let's get to my top 5. My number 1 is a game you may not have heard of, and this is Spaceship Unity, specifically Season 1.1 from Pegasus Spiele. This is a game unlike anywhere other, where 2 to 4 or maybe a couple more will work through a mini campaign experience unlike any other, as you are a spacefaring crew trying to accomplish missions and tasks, and you may have heard of something like that before, but in this game, those missions and tasks all of a sudden make your window blinds the shielding of your ship, or maybe your sink becomes the power generator, or your vacuum cleaner becomes a missile launcher, as you actually use household objects and rooms and different places and cards and objects and all of these things to replicate being a spacefaring crew trying to survive crazy and chaotic tasks and missions and story moments that come up in this campaign. For a great hour or 2 hours of cooperative fun, look no further than Spaceship Unity Season 1.1. Get that campaign experience, get the craziness of playing a game unlike any other. Check it out from Pegasus Spielo. My next game is a game I've brought up before, but to me, it brings out that cosmic craziness almost unlike any other. And this is Galaxy Trucker, specifically the second edition from CGE. In a 20 to 30 minute, very simple, very fast-paced game for 2 to 4 players, you are gonna be trying to cobble up spaceships to explore and ultimately transport cargo as truckers across, as the title would suggest, the galaxy. But here's the problem, your company's super cheap. So your spaceships are not state-of-the-art freighters, they are made out of sewer pipes. So you're trying to cobble up and get together these pipes as you take out in real-time tiles, placing them, getting shield generation, missiles, crew, aliens, cargo holds, just trying to cobble enough together batteries and weapons and missiles and shields to survive the second phase of this game, where you're going to be going out and exploring the story of the galaxy as you face off against alien pirate crews, as you go to pick up cargo, as you go to fight off missiles and meteors, ultimately trying to be the trucker that survives with the most of his ship intact. A lot of it's probably going to fall off without too many scratches and dents, and with the most valuable cargo trying to finish in first place to ultimately get the most points. What's really cool too is it's a really short game because of that real-time element, but additionally you can do a mode called the Transgalactic Trek, where you get to build different ships of different sizes and play through different missions, and ultimately kind of a mini campaign, so it adds that flavor as well. If you want some craziness and some real-time elements with your space games, look no further than Galaxy Trucker 2nd Edition from CGE, my number 2 space theme game. Next up, I got another 2nd edition from you, this time from Fantasy Flight, and this is Mission Red Planet 2nd Edition. In this game, you can play all the way up to 3 to 6 players. It'll take you about 60 to 90 minutes in a area control role selection game unlike any other. As the name would entitle, you have a mission to the Red Planet, that is Mars, where you are being a company trying to go to Mars, ultimately exploit it the best, better than any of your other rival companies, and choose the right roles of people in your company to ultimately take the competitors out and get the most rewards for yourself. As each round, each of you will pick 1 through 9. You'll actually count down like a rocket and reveal which roles you selected as you'll load up spaceships with your crew, trying to send them onto the planet, capturing different territories, getting different resources, finding different scientific innovations, and also getting a little nefarious, taking out and blowing up each other's spaceships, taking out their crew members once they land on Mars to ultimately control the most areas for yourself. This just gives a lot of chaos and fun, but there's also that strategy of selecting which roles you want to play, what you think others might play. And additionally, this game always flies by quicker than I expected. It always gets to the end of the game and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're almost done. It is that kind of a game where time flies because you're having fun. Check out my number 3 space themed game, Mission Red Planet 2nd Edition from Fantasy Flight. My 4th game is a stone cold classic, and that is Cosmic Encounter, specifically the 42nd anniversary edition from Fantasy Flight. In this game, it's gonna take you anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, but that is because it's going to be filled with amazing story moments and amazing negotiation discussions, because this is ultimately a negotiation game for 3 to 5, or if you have expansion, 6 players, where each of you is going to be playing a crazy alien race with a game-breaking ability. But everyone's going to have a game-breaking ability, and you're going to be using cards to invade each other's planets, ultimately trying to send enough fleets to capture 5 planets of other peoples. You're going to be negotiating, though, to get people to join with you and help you out. The defender is going to be negotiating to get people to help him defend, ultimately get rewards for attacking or defending. And this game, the story moments do not come from card text or lore or story cards, but they ultimately come from the negotiations and the moments, the betrayals and the alliances around the table. This is a game that happens above the table with the people you play with, so it can be player dependent, but if you have the right group, this is a negotiation experience unlike any other and gives you that cosmic craziness in Cosmic Encounter, the 42nd anniversary edition from Fantasy Flight. Finally is my largest and grandest game, but this is a great solo game and all the way up to 4, where in 2 to 3 hours you are going to explore the galaxy in Star Wars Outer Rim from Fantasy Flight. This game brings the Star Wars theme to life, as each of you is going to play a bounty hunter exploring the galaxy, building up your cargo, your ship, your crew, trying to accomplish different bounties and missions and having story moments and adventures from the movies, as you're going to find characters from the movies in the TV shows. You're going to be allying or attacking the Imperials and the Rebels and the Hutts and the bounty hunters. And this is a sandbox spacefaring adventure unlike any other, and I think it does the best in the business at it. So if you're okay with a little more complexity, a little more time, I would check out Star Wars Outer Rim. That is my 5th space-themed game. And I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side.
All right, another great show.
Another great show.
Yes, Cousin Maurice.
Cousin Maurice introduced us to a game that I heard about, never really saw, but now I want.
Oh my God, I want this game.
I want.
I love the box box art. I love the way it looks when you're playing it. I want this game. I love the story.
Who made the stars. I love that.
And it's based on an African myth about a girl who made constellations and stars.
That's cool.
I love that.
I love that.
Yes.
I love it.
And it's got all the things I love. Worker placement, tile placement, set collecting. I want this game.
Dang, Cousin Maurice, why you gonna throw that on me?
I know you guys
threw it on me.
Maurice, is that really your cousin? Well, let me tell you something about us, especially from Texas. You got your play cousins. And we found out when we met Maurice that he's from Houston just like us. So at that point, we're like, you know what? If you're from Houston, you are a Houston cousin. And from that point on, he's become Cousin Maurice.
Cousin Maurice.
And we love him like a play cousin.
We got some cousins now.
Yes,
we got
we
some
do.
cousins. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And then next on the line was Tanya.
Yeah.
She came up kicking it hard with her celebration of Pride Month.
Yes.
And I just love, I always love her messages. She always has something good to say.
She always drops the mic on our head and makes us listen.
And that's why I love having her as part of this show. Because yes, she's a dynamic board gamer. She loves the hobby, but she looks at it from a different perspective. You know, and we as gamers and hobbyists, we need to know that what we do in the hobby goes outside of the hobby, and who we are outside of the hobby comes into the hobby. And Tanya kind of helps, you know, put those things together with her thought process on, you know, giving us educational things to think about, you know?
Yeah, because everything's not kumbaya in this in the hobby.
Or in the world.
Because we still face a lot of craziness in this hobby. You know, so, I mean, what she's talking about is still around, unfortunately.
Every day.
Yes,
and now she's putting her work on Amazon Kindle.
Yes.
And I can't wait to get a copy. It is for purchase. And it's called I Didn't See Anyone Who Looked Like Me. Gender and Racial Representation in Board Gaming. Go check it out.
And that's kind of why we started
It is why.
Because we didn't see anyone that looked like us.
Yes, and we still rarely do.
Yes, and those, you know, those cons.
Yeah.
And in board game spaces.
Yes,
we
and
rarely
events.
saw us on box covers.
On box covers,
you
box
know,
art,
in the game.
You know, so that's kind of what launched us out.
Yes.
That whole idea that we don't see anyone who looks like us, and we should.
Yeah, we should. And she touches on all of that.
She does.
And I do love Dr. Tanya. She lets us know what's up. Love her.
Yes, and last but not least, our boy Drew. Drew in his top 5.
Drew. Yes.
So he came up with some games. We played, I think I played 1 or 2.
We played a few. Well, I played a few. You played 1.
I only played 1 because the first one I had never heard of, Spaceship Unity.
I never heard of that one.
I never heard of that
So that's a
one.
good one to know.
Yes.
Now, Galaxy Trucker, we just received
just got
that from Board Game Geek Spring Con.
Yeah, we went to BGG Spring.
And we got that they were giving out free games.
And that was one of them.
And that was one of them. I was so glad.
Because you want to play that.
I want to play it.
You've been
We've
talking
heard
about
so
it.
much about Galaxy Trucker, and we just saw it's so interesting. I said, I'm so glad we got that.
Me too. And then the next one he had was Mission Red Planet.
Yes, I played that.
Okay, I've never played
It's been a while ago, but I did play Mission Red Planet, and it was pretty fun. It's area control. and I think you will like it. But it's a really fun game, and I did enjoy that one. So I do agree with Drew. That is a fun game. Yes.
And then he had Cosmic Encounters.
That's the one we both have played.
I played it.
I went and found that game and bought it because we had so much fun. I went and got it, and it is so much fun.
I enjoyed it a lot. It's an interesting game.
Yes.
It's a big game.
It's a big game.
It's a big one. It's got a big presence.
And then I think we played with 6 players. It was like 4
6,
or 5.
and it took a while.
Yeah, it was about 5 or 6 players we played it, and it was fun. A lot of negotiating.
Yeah, a lot of
A lot of take that.
Yeah.
A lot of being mean. I kind of like that stuff.
I know.
Yes, kind of being mean. But
overall, it was fun.
Overall, it was fun. And I know that's Tom Vassel's favorite game.
That's one of his favorites.
That's one of his favorites. But I like it.
I like it too. All right, and then the last one on the list is Star Wars Outer Rim.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Yes! I love that game.
Yes, I'm sure I can tell.
Yes!
Everybody can tell.
Yeah, I love it. You talk about thematic in the Star Wars world. That is that game. You get to just go around and adventure and do things, satisfy contracts, battle other players, you go capture folk for bounty.
Okay.
I love it.
I have not played the game, but as you can tell, he loves it.
And I love playing 2 characters in there. Is Lando Calrissian. I love playing him. But the one that I love to play is Boba Fett.
Okay, I like Boba Fett.
I love playing Boba Fett.
I least like the series, the book of Boba Fett.
And in one game that I played, I was able to get Boba Fett all his equipment, because you can buy equipment and stuff. I got his ship. I got his equipment. So I was Boba Fetting all day. Love it.
So if you could not tell, he loves this game.
I love this game. Yeah. So Drew, we see each other.
Great list, Drew.
Great list.
Great job. Great job to all of our content creators. Thank you guys so much for your wonderful submissions.
And Starla, our sponsors.
Yes, we've got Board&Dice.
Yes.
And new this week, CATAN.
Yes, CATAN. Yes, love CATAN and their spacey stuff.
Yeah, space stuff.
Yeah, they spacey stuff. And we love that. Yes. But family, definitely check out CATAN Starfarers Duel. Now, CATAN Starfarers is really cool. I played it. It's really cool. You got the big rockets that you mess with and stuff. Starla haven't played it yet, but I'm going to get it to the table so she can.
I like the way it looks.
Yeah, she likes the way it looks. But now they have Starfarers Duel. So me and Starla are going to go back and forth. We're going to go back and forth to see who can win and control space. I love it. The CATAN space.
Yes.
Love that. So definitely, family, go check it out. Definitely do that. Now, Starla, what about our merch? And also, family, please subscribe. Do that. Please subscribe. But what about our merch, Starla?
Well, if you're looking for a shirt or a cup or a pillow for OFPG Voices or Our Family Plays Games, check us out on Spring. And then we have a special shirt on BGG, or the BGG Online store. We have an exclusive OFPG shirt. Be sure to check that out as well.
Yeah. Now, family, go to Spring because we're going to have some new stuff coming out. But we're going to let you know, but definitely go check because we've got some new things that you can start, looking like, OFPG up around here.
New designs.
New designs and stuff. Now, our next episode is going to be on June 19th, and it's going to be solo games. Now, I love solo games. Starla does not. But I love solo games, so I'm looking forward to that next show. Yes, now Starla, where can they find OFPG and OFPG Voices out here in all the interwebs?
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games, or OFPG Voices, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube,
right here
on our website, and TikTok.
Yeah. Thank you so much, family, for coming out and checking out these beautiful voices. They were giving some great things. Check out our sponsors. Definitely check them out because they keep us going. But family, please, if you got any questions or comments, put them down below. But always know, we love you.
Bye
now.
Everybody. Bye.